Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting edition of the Heart and Flick Show, the 8th edition. You hear me right? The 8th edition. 2 more to go, and we are the 10th edition of the show. Who will believe this? All thanks to God Almighty for this privilege of life, for me to be able to talk to you, listening to me, and for you to be able to listen to me. Now, only man, person where they are alive, they listen to radio, and I'm really grateful for this opportunity. And as usual, you know, I go by the name K to the E to the LLY. When you talk about resilience, I'm Kelly. When you talk about hard work, I'm a product of hard work. That's Kelly for you. So I'm K to the E to the LLY, Kelly. The Sam is all your number one radio station, Glass FM, making a difference. And like I told you earlier, I've been making in previous editions by calling it the relationship segment. And no, it's not relationship segment, it's the heart segment. Like I said, the issue of the heart is the heart of the issue. The matter of the heart is the heart of the matter. So whatever it has to do with the heart, that's what we talk about on this show. So I'll be ushering you to the next segment of the show, which is the heart segment. Before that, I want to ask you how you all doing today, how all our listeners doing today. Hope you are doing fine. If you are in Jos, I hope you are putting on a jacket. I hope you're putting on a sweater. I hope you're not moving around. I saw somebody moving around with bomb shots. Well, that's a story for another day. Let's head straight to the business of the day after this commercial break. We'll be right back. Stay. With over 30 countries listening to us all over the world, we still continue to raise the bar when it comes to entertainment.
With riffs and runs, especially when it's worship. Do you understand? You can't just start all...
Wore the crown with dignity.
Ibombe!
Sports.
Throw it out this time. The defence is looking very vulnerable here. They just can't cope. It's a searching ball.
Current affairs.
How has the project affected the price change for transportation so far?
It changed many things, many things. People are trekking, suffering, going up and down.
And lots more.
Glass FM, your number one radio station.
Welcome to the heart segment of the show. And guess what we'll be talking about? We're talking about fake life. Fake life. This generation, fake life. Or if it's Yoruba, so on one fake life, I'll be OT fake life. I don't know if I got that right. Fake life is really annoying. And what is fake life? Fake life means to cause or to appear more valuable, desirable, or real by fraud or pretense. I'll take that again. To cause, to appear more valuable, desirable, or real by fraud or pretense. It's very possible one of you could be listening to me right now. I don't even know the definition of fake life. Maybe as I call this now, you'll be able to place yourself in where you belong, the category you belong. Now, how to stop faking life? How to stop faking it? Sorry. How to stop faking it? I don't know what's wrong with you. How to stop faking it? 5 ways to be yourself. You need to be yourself, because I also noticed something. A lot of people are not themselves these days. A lot of people are not even proud of themselves. A lot of people don't even know themselves. For you to even know yourself, you need to have purpose. I don't know. When he's in the studio and he's just laughing. I don't know. Let me usher in. I don't know he came to do in the studio today, but I don't know. He's just laughing in the studio. What do you have to say about this thing? Because me, Rokateda is here. I don't know. He's supposed to be. I don't know. He's supposed to be in the studio till tomorrow, but I don't know why he's here. I don't know.
Well, when you talk about fake life, when you were talking about it, I said no. Somebody has to be here. I have to talk about this. And majority of people will kind of do this thing. Fake it till you make it. And kind of, okay, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? Fake it till you make it. And then, no disrespect to those people, but they said those people actually live in such categories. Like they fake it that, okay, when it comes to dressing, when it comes to outfit, Jos is the number one, but when you check their pockets,
nothing in the pocket.
And okay, I have this I have this guy we happened to be friends before he traveled out. What he does was, when he was in Akwanga schooling, all he needs to do is just to come to Terminus Market, go to that Bend Down Select, get trousers for the sum of 800 naira.
Wow.
When you go back there, they kind of, this is quality, and I'm chilling with ice creams.
just like was it last week or last upper week or so? I saw a lot of people almost like say MI snap with everybody for just
honestly. And when you get to check on their DP, you find out that each and everyone is uploading such things to make sure that yes, I was with MI.
I snap with the guy.
There was this guy back then when Two-Face came to Jos at PRTV. That's 1st December. That was back then in 2017.
True.
When Two-Face was singing, I was shaking people. This guy have to jump on people to go and shake him, and he was like, "Man, this guy's hand is soft like bread." What? I was like, "Guy, this is your greatest achievement in 2027." I was like, Jesus Christ. So and posting pictures like that and then living such a, don't be surprised. Somebody might even tell you that he himself and Emma, they wine and dine together.
Yes.
Not knowing that it is a lie, just to have attention, just to create.
You know. Before I even call you and bring back your attention now, or your voice back to this mic. Now, I want to say something. How to stop faking. 5 ways to stop faking. 5 ways you have to be yourself. A lot of people are not themselves. Now, 1, give yourself permission to be authentic. Be real. Even if your house is not fine, why will you go and snap in front of another house? I don't understand when. If your house is not, why will you go and snap? You are living in a bacha. Why will you go and snap in front of a 2-3 story building? Why? Why the pressure? And all this is social media. If you check, social media is the backbone of this fake life.
And another thing again that I'm surprised of, I don't know why some people choose toilets. Especially when it comes to TikTok. You see a lot of people using toilets in their kitchen in order to go. For God's sake, what happened to your palace? What happened to your palace? What happened?
Guy, it's really bad. Forget the fact that we are laughing. We are honestly, if we are laughing, you should be crying for yourself. Honestly, we are laughing not because what you are doing is right. We are laughing, it means that you should be actually be feeling for yourself, because what you are doing, you don't even know what you are doing to yourself. Leave social media. Those people on social media, leave them. You are impressing streets. You have parents to impress. You have people that are relying on you to become great in life, and you want to go and impress who? The other time somebody met me rock and I was like, Kelly, why not using iPhone? And I said, okay, iPhone. I want to ask you a question. In fact, tell me, this is a Heart Flick segment, so we can talk about any movie celebrity. Now, you know the guy that acted Captain America?
Yes.
Chris Evans.
Yes.
Now, do you know that it was some years back? I think it was 2 years ago. This guy stopped using his iPhone 6. Wow. A broken iPhone 6.
Wow.
He stopped it. Not an iPhone 6, though, just he broke iPhone. He stopped using it. People were telling me why. Now imagine, do you know how much they are paying that guy for? I'm sure I don't need to tell you. You know how much Marvel will be paying their actors. It's not that he's a supporting character, a main character, Captain America,
the hero for that matter.
They are paying him. He's still using an iPhone 6. So I want to know: is it that guy doesn't like good things? I want to know: is it that he doesn't like good things? Is it that
he's trying to be original? That is who he is.
That's why I say being authentic. Give yourself permission to be authentic for once.
Okay, let me draw attention to this movie in particular, titled Bad Comment.
Yes.
Which Jim Ike actually
produced.
He produced, and then he was the lead character in that. Okay, in that, check all those what do they even call them? Those oh my God, what's the name?
Actors?
No, not the actors. Those people that drag people on social media trying to do onto all these things.
They call them cyber bullies sometimes.
Definitely. Okay, and imagine the kind of a life they were living. Somebody was a tailor, and then he will come back on social media to come and destroy other people's life. At the end of the day, I was a kind of I was expecting to see a bigger person dragging Jim Ike then on social media, calling him a bad person, calling him names, calling him this and that, saying that he beat an elderly man at the rest of the day. But at the end of the day, somebody was a kind of soaking Gary, and at the end of the day, you want to look good. You want to look.
There's like somebody say, once people have cheap data, they just say things. They just want to voice out the nonsense, the stupidity in their heads or in their mouths or in their hearts. Without thinking, without evaluating, without elaborating all these things before they gush it out from their mouths. Now, The next thing is be honest with yourself when fake life. When that's one thing. A lot of people are not honest with themselves these days. If you don't have, you don't have. Tell yourself the truth. Stop all this hide and seek. Stop it. Stop it. The next is admit that you don't know who you really are. This one is deep. Admit that you don't know who you really are, because if you know who you really are, you won't be chasing after those cliche things. You won't be chasing after all these vague things. You know, you'll be solid. You have what you call a standard. You understand? You have a standard. A lot of people don't even have standards now. When you don't have, because in fact, sometimes I even wonder, why are people even under this peer pressure? Sometimes I wonder, I'm sure there's no also a demonic spirit behind this peer pressure.
Definitely.
Because it's not normal.
Because it's even amazing that it's even confusing, and it's a big thing of shame to say somebody who, in fact, you have money to go to a dry clean to go to a dry clean office, or to go to a dry cleaner to go and borrow somebody's clothes to put on to go and snap. That is another. he just brought in one talk. I remember one gist that was trending one time about some people who did a wedding. They had to borrow clothes from a dry cleaner, couples, to do a wedding. But that story for another day. Let me not allow cut going. Continue with what you wanted to say. Okay, on that aspect, I kind of think of it. Okay, what if today I go to a dry cleaner and I borrow clothes and I put it, and the owner of the clothes is actually there to get his clothes back? What would that think? Okay, or somebody who will go and borrow a
or somebody even borrow cake
somewhere. Oh God. And then to go and snap and then return it back. Madam, who are you impressing? That's the number one thing. Who are you impressing? You look expensive on social media, but in real life you are nothing but a broke.
I don't know, before I even mentioned the thought, okay, we're talking about admit who you are. Now, this really admits who you are. Do you know that a lot of people lack self-confidence? I spoke about this last week. A lot of people don't know how to express themselves. A lot of people are timid. A lot of people, I don't know, low self-esteem is the word. Low self-esteem. A lot of people don't believe in themselves. And that's why you are trying to get self-validation from social media, from the public. You do not want to find who you really are. You've not even asked God, who I am, who am I, what's my purpose of being in life? Am I living an empty life or a fulfilled life? You've not tried to ask those questions. You are just living your life based on peer pressure.
They don't even know who they are.
It's you need to, if you're saying that, you need to think about it's deep. Forget the fact that I and Rokatina are laughing. You need to start feeling pity for yourself if you are listening to this show. Now the next thing is take responsibility and take responsibility. I make my life and no one else makes it for me. That's what you should tell yourself. Take responsibility and realize that you make your life and no one else makes it for you. Nobody owes you anything. You know that. But when I say nobody owes you anything, some people gonna know how to misinterpret it. It does not mean when you say nobody owes you anything, your parents, you don't owe your parents. After all the spending they've done on you, you say nobody owes you anything. No. When I say nobody owes you anything, you should know what I mean. Society. Yeah. You understand? Society. Don't live your life based on what society sees. And there's something, I was listening to the radio stations, and one of our senior colleagues, Osama, was saying something. Osama Apunono, he said, when you live your life on social media, before you know it, social media dictates how your life will be. Yeah. The moment you just show them about just a glimpse, they become family members.
True.
They become family members of your. They become judge. They become people that determine. They become determinants of your life.
That's why at times when you finish all the stuff on social media and you come out and people will be like, oh, so this is how you are, and at the end of the day you come and tell us this is where. See, just as our names are different, that is how our status are different as well. Because your name is David, you can never be Davido. That's just the difference.
Simple.
And then for the fact that, okay, some people might be thinking, okay, these people are on the radio, these people, we don't have the monopoly of knowledge.
Yes, we don't
understand. We tell you.
In fact, it's the little that we have that we're trying to give you. Not that we have one large amount of knowledge stored somewhere. You understand? And then take responsibility, yes, and realize that you make your life and no one else. Now, lastly, stop projecting your self-doubt, insecurities, second-guessing, and fears on others. Stop it. Stop projecting all those things. It's really, really bad. This fake life, when you're talking about, for me, I think it can be a faculty. This fake life, I'm not joking. It can be a faculty. Then you break it to a department. In fact, you break it to departments.
It's not an institution.
It's an institution. Fake life. Fake life. You know, talk about the one snapping in front of car.
Yeah.
There's one video I was watching. The lady was snapping in front of a car. As she was snapping in front of the car, she didn't know that the car was going to move.
Whoa.
In fact, there was one she was lying at Miami. In front of the car, Miami. The guy just passed in front of the car. He said, "Na lie yo, she no de Miami na Makati she de. She no de Miami na Makati she de." Oh, now so everywhere they just embarrass this girl, but it's part of the things. Please let's not do this. Let's not do this. And I love to, like I said, this is the heart segments. I really spoke a lot. I saw Weng laughing in the studio, and I just said, "Come and chip in something in this particular segment, which is fake life." So we'll be heading straight to the next segment. Let me allow Weng to go. Let me allow Rokatina to go, so that you can be able to prepare and be in the spirit, holy, for gospel notes tomorrow. So Rokatina, thanks for coming. Let me allow you to go. So we'll be right back after I play this soundtrack and this trailer. Thank you.
Last FM, your number one radio station.
Movies are dreams that you never forget. Sammy?
To change how everything looks. It's hard to find our house.
Ours is the dark house with no lights.
In this family, it's the scientists versus the artists. Sammy's on my team, takes after me.
What kind of movie are we gonna make?
Dismiss what he does. It's playful or imaginative. You could afford to be a little encouraging.
She should have been a concert piano player. What she got in her heart is what you got.
You can't just love something, you also have to take care of it. It's more important than your hobby.
Can you stop calling it a hobby?
Mom got a monkey.
Why'd you get a monkey?
Because I needed a laugh.
You always
always have to be the center of attention?
Stop shouting at her!
That has been nothing but disrespect from you.
I'm your mother!
Family, art. It'll tear you in two.
You stop making movies, it'll break your mother's heart. I don't know what to do anymore.
You do what your heart says you have to.
What was your favorite part?
All right, welcome from that trailer and also that soundtrack break, and we're discussing on the heart segment, and now we're back to the flick segment. Everything flick, you heard me right? Everything flick, but not everything sick, but everything flick. Yeah. So the Oscars is almost here. The Oscars will be happening on 12th of March, if I'm correct, and there's been a whole lot of discussion on who's going to be the best director for the Oscars. Believe me, there'll be a whole lot of discussion on who's going to be the best director for the Oscars. We have a lot of films that people are looking up. They're looking at Everything Everywhere All at Once by the Daniels, The Fabelmans by Steven Spielberg, Babylon, Top Gun Maverick, The Banshees of Inisherin, Avatar: The Way of Water, Elvis, Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery, Triangles of Sadness. Avatar, I don't know. I've been talking about Avatar for the past how many weeks now. I don't know how the magic James Cameron has on the box office. This guy has produced Titanic. Titanic is the third, if I'm not mistaken, biggest film of all time, and the Avatar is the biggest of all. And then he has Avatar 2, The Way of the Water, which is now one. In fact, for me, I believe it's going to be that 2 billion. It's going to be that 2 billion mark. It's going to be that 2 billion mark. Avatar will be that 2 billion mark. You say I told you. Mark my words. Going to be that 2 billion mark. I don't know. And he's going to have sequels coming up, 3 and 4. There's something I will stop. You see, when you are dedicated to something, you will always be different. James Cameron doesn't shoot film like normal people. He doesn't shoot films like, he doesn't, hey, let's enter location. Upcoming filmmakers, I hope you are listening to me. Learn from James Cameron. He takes his time. You hear what he said? He said it took him over how many years to make. For those who listened to the answer about 2 days ago, the BBC insert that I played for you guys about 2 weeks ago, you listen to what he said. How he took him time to do the performance capture, to do the whole water scenes, underwater scenes. When they mentioned the word dedication, I remember James Cameron. That's me. He's the definition of dedication. So these are some of the things that people have been actually talking about when it comes to the Oscars. A lot of people are saying Steven Spielberg, the Fabelmans. Yes, actually, the Fabelmans was actually the soundtrack I played for you at the break. The Fabelmans was actually the soundtrack I played for you, and I'll give you a short history or some details about the Fabelmans. Fabelmans is actually about Steven Spielberg. Yeah, it's not just Steven Spielberg. It's a 2022 American coming of age. The Fabelmans is a 2022 American coming-of-age drama film directed by Steven Spielberg, who also co-wrote and co-produced the film with Tony Kushner. It's a semi-autobiographical story loosely based on Spielberg's adolescence and first years as a filmmaker, told through an original story of the fictional Sammy Fabelman, a young aspiring filmmaker who explores how the power of films can help him see the truth about his dysfunctional family and those around him. The film stars Gabriel Labella as Sammy alongside Michelle Williams, Paul Dano, Seth Rogen, and George Hirsch in supporting roles. The film is dedicated to the memories of Spielberg's real-life parents, Leah Adler and Arnold Spielberg, who died in 2017 and 2020 respectively. So this is the Fabelmans. If you listen to the soundtrack, I played the soundtrack which was composed by the music composer. I call him one of the best music composers in film. It was composed by John Williams. You heard me right, John Williams. He did the music composition for the Fabelmans. The cinematography was done by Janusz Kamsnik. I think this is an Eastern European name. They always have this Isk, Ich, Modric, Iskavich. So, edited by Michael Kahn and Sarah Brosher. And production companies involved in the film, making the film, was Amblin Entertainment, Reliance Entertainment. It was distributed by Universal Pictures, and the budget was $40 million. and in the box office it got about $15.4 million. Now, I don't think he released this movie for the money's sake. He released it because he wanted to send a message and tell a story. Now, heading to the cast, like I've mentioned the cast for you, so there's no need to mention it to the cast. The development, I think his sister also accompanied him in writing the story. Yes, he wrote the story. His sister was part of people who wrote the story for the film. Yeah, the project was originally written. She originally wrote it. That's Annie Spielberg originally wrote the film, The Fabelmans. Yeah, so before they now went to the writing process and all that. Now, this film, you love to know that when it was screened, it got a standing ovation. One, when we were about to introduce the film, and when the film was done, it got a standing ovation. 2 standing ovations. That is Steven Spielberg for you. That's Steven Spielberg for you. From the scenes of Sammy's film in his own 80mm lens. Okay, this was part of the cinematography and everything that he used. Well, let's head straight to the release. The film was released on July 26, 2022 in New York. And I think those are the details we have for you. Critical response. This is what I love to talk about. Every film deserves a critical response. But like I told you some times back, I'm not really comfortable with critics sometimes. I'm not really comfortable with it. Sometimes some things look very good to me, but I don't know what they see. Like I say, I don't know what they see, so I'm not criticizing them. I don't know what they see. On the review aggregator website, Rotten Tomatoes, the film got 91% reviews from 290 critics. 91% reviews from 290 critics with an average rating of 8.2/10. It's Steven Spielberg. He knows how to make films, so it shouldn't be shocking. It shouldn't be surprising. Accolades the film has gotten: it has received 5 nominations at the 80th Golden Globe Awards, including Best Motion Picture, Drama, and Best Director. Yes, that's what all this film has gotten for Steven Spielberg. Now, let's head straight to highest grossing film directors of all time. As of July 2022, the highest grossing film directors of all time, we have Steven Spielberg at $10.62 billion. 1. Anthony Russo with $6.84 billion. Followed by Joe Russo with also $6.84 billion. Now, there's something I love about the Russo brothers. I don't want to go deep into all these things, but the Russo brothers are very good. For me, those guys, you need to produce or direct a James Bond movie. Those guys are good, very, very good at producing, they're very good at directing. And when they did the Winter Soldier, oh my god, Captain America, the Winter Soldier, go check out that film. I just love that film. I can watch that film. I don't know how many times I've watched that film, but the Russo brothers are very good. And then we have Peter Jackson, the guy who directed Lord of the Rings, at $6.54 billion. Michael Bay, you know Michael Bay now, $6.5 billion. David Yates, James Cameron, yes, Avatar, my Avatar man. Christopher Nolan, Tenet. Christopher Nolan is one of the most realistic directors I know. He burnt a plane. I'm talking about a Boeing plane, a new Boeing plane on set of Tenet. I've not seen anybody that has the audacity. That is Christopher Nolan. So these are the highest grossing directors of all time. And the Oscar predictions for Best Director, like I told you, Steven Spielberg, Sarah Polley, Sam Mendes. You can't play with Sam Mendes. Sam Mendes is a king. Sam Mendes is a king. When you watch 1917, you can't play with Sam Mendes. Then we have the Daniels. And then directors with most awards at the Academy Awards. Okay, sorry, director with the most awards at the Academy Awards, that's the Oscar Awards. We have John Ford. He has about 4 awards for Best Director. He got it in 1935, 1940, 1941, and 1952. He recorded 4. He got 4 awards for the Oscars. That's known as the Academy Awards. That's one fact I've got for you there. And there's something I'm going to use to wrap up the show. It's actually an It's actually an interview, with one of our regular guests on Glass FM, Ugo Umadi, and we're talking about the politics, the propaganda in Hollywood, how Hollywood has been influenced by the military. When we're talking about the military, we also talk about the CIA and the Pentagon. You will be surprised to know that the CIA and the Pentagon have entertainment offices. So they really influence the films in Hollywood. So I spoke to Ugo Madi about it, trying to find out what he feels about this thing that's actually happening in Hollywood right now, the way films are being influenced in Hollywood, in Hollywood by the military. I'm really not too comfortable with it, but they've sold out the propaganda, and because they sold out the propaganda, it's really gone well. In fact, I have one right up here. They say the military has written policies on what it approves and disapproves in Hollywood. It disapproves depictions of failures and crimes, which eliminates much of reality. So they don't want you to know the crimes that go on in Hollywood, in the military, in the American army. They don't want you to know. They just want to make you see the army as a very powerful tool. So other security agencies listening to me, the DSS, the NIA, yes, I'm not surprised. You have an NIA, yes. NIA is like the CIA version of the CIA. We have all these things. Can we have entertainment offices that we can use to promote our security agencies in a good light? This is what Hollywood is doing, and it's selling for them. Hollywood is under the Ministry of Trade. So for some of them to be under the Ministry of Trade, it shows you that those guys mean business. Not unlike us, that Nollywood is under the Ministry of Information. So we are just dispensing information. Well, that's the story for another day. So I had an interview with Ugo Miadi, and we spoke deeply about it, about how the military has been able to influence movies in Hollywood. So this is what he had to say.
I'm Ogochukwu Madi, production designer, filmmaker, art maker, and photographer. So today I'll be talking about the influence of the United States military industrial complex on the Hollywood movies. So basically in the US, there are certain films, TV shows, and contents that do come out, but the public don't actually know that these things are veiled in the military industrial complex propaganda. So like they use this to actually further their influence for both their military and every of their other things, you understand? Like, coming from my background in film, I'm a production designer, and there is a particular film that was shot, I think, in the 80s when, what's this president's name? Let me remember. I've forgotten the president's name, but actually in the film there is a war room at the White House, but this president actually came to the White House and then there is no war room, you get, and he asked his advisors to show him the war room, and they were like, there is no war room, but you see that in his consciousness he has already believed that there is a war room. So this is an example of it, and it has actually served the US very well. So many people, once they just see US soldiers, like they are afraid. I think it was that way until the 2001 Twin Tower bombing in New York. That was when the veil actually. So what I was saying, the president I was referring to was President Ronald Reagan, and he was president of the United States in the 80s. So the veil actually cleared off people's eyes during the 2001 Twin Tower bombings in New York. People were like, before then, everybody believed the US was impregnable to any form of attack. But the terrorist attack that happened then, like, everybody became conscious. And the US itself, they ramped up on their security and became very conscious that they are now targets and people can do them much harm. So much of their security architecture actually changed post 9/11. So countries actually do that because somebody said if you can show people like how crazy you are, you get, if they can be able to know, okay, this is what you're able to do when they piss you off, you've won half of your battle. So that's what US is actually doing in their films, and smart countries actually take advantage of that. For our country, Nigeria, I think we just did that a few times. If you've seen the film Air Force, and like we've not actively put that into consideration. For someone like me who is a filmmaker, this is the part I'm interested in.
Ugo Madi, like I said, is our most regular guest on Glass FM. I want to thank you for making this edition a great one. I want to thank my station manager, I want to thank my producers, I want to thank the whole OAPs, the whole Glass FM fan from this show. A success to Weng, who is laughing in the studio right now. He's not yet left. Weng, why? He's still in the studio. I don't know why he's still in the studio. I don't know. He won't go and meet his wife at home. But It's been nice being with you guys, and I want you to know that if you want to reach out to us on our social media handles, on Facebook is Glass FM, on Twitter is Glass_FM, on Instagram is at Glass FM radio station. You want to email us, it's glassfm.tv@gmail.com. You want to call us, it's +234 81 288 0452. I'll call it again, +234 81 288 0452. That's all I have for you on the Hearts and Flicks edition, the 8th edition, hoping that the 9th edition, well, almost at the 10th edition, is going to be really great. As usual, I told you, when you mention the word resilience, you remember the word Kelly. When you mention the word hard work, you remember Kelly. Yes, I'm a product of hard work. I'm a product of resilience. You heard me right. So see you next week. Bye-bye. I love you.